With CTS equipment. Today we're going to be highlighting the severe duty root grapple from IronCraft implements. We'll cover a few different things here today. First off, we'll take a closer look at IronCraft as a company. I also want to talk a little bit about the differences between root grapples and rake grapples. They are designed for a similar type application, but definitely have some notable design differences. Thirdly, let's do a deep dive into the specifications for this specific severe duty root grapple from IronCraft. Lastly, we'll take a look at applications it's designed for and some unique design features for this particular grapple that set it apart from others in the industry. IronCraft actually went through a rename and a rebranding a couple years ago. The former name was Titan Implement, and it was often confused with a Chinese import company bringing everything over from China. IronCraft wanted to separate themselves completely from that. They build the vast majority of their products right here in the USA, either in Tennessee or South Carolina. And there's a pretty radical difference between the two companies when it comes to weld quality, fit and finish, and the type of steel being used. IronCraft really wanted to choose a name that better fitted, was more suited towards their American heritage and founding. Root grapples and rake grapples, those two terms are often confused, so I want to quickly go over the differences between the two different designs. So root grapples, typically what you're going to find is longer, lower tines. Those tines are generally spaced about 7 to 10 inches apart, and they're reinforced and connected at the front leading edge by usually tube stock that holds everything together and keeps everything structurally sound. So built off of that tube stock and extended with the length of the tines, usually you're going to have about 6 to 7 inch teeth. Those teeth really help with tearing up roots, getting into the soil, taking up stumps, and that sort of thing. Cylinders on the root grapple are going to be mounted to the top of the claw. Generally, you're going to have a 36 to 42 inch opening, depending on the engineering and design. And on the dual cylinder models, you're going to have two independent claws. They're on the same hydraulic system, but they're going to work independently of each other, which can be helpful when it comes to uneven or odd shaped loads. Rake grapples are also very useful in forestry type applications. The lower tines are going to be a lot shorter. The top claw is usually going to extend the entire width of the grapple. It's going to have more of a clamshell type design. The cylinders on the rake style grapple are generally going to be mounted on the back, especially with larger units. Because the cylinders are on the back, you're going to get a larger opening, generally in that 48 to 52 inch range. For exact specifications on thickness of steel, the main frame is going to have 4-inch square tube steel to start with. Attached to those, the lower continuous bottom tines are going to be 1/2-inch material. Those lower tines combined with horizontal 1/2-inch reinforcement are going to construct the leading front teeth on this grapple. The claws here that are utilized are fabricated with 3/4 inch sides. Inside, connecting both of those plates together is going to be 1/4 inch steel in the interior of the claw. In the lower edge of the claw, they add a 1/4 inch reinforcement serrated edge that's utilized for grabbing logs and cherry picking timber. The cylinders used on this grapple is going to be a large 3.5 inch bore cylinder. They're connected to the grapple claw and the main frame of the grapple with 1 1/8 inch pivot points. Those pivot points, of course, are all greasable and serviceable as well. When the cylinders are fully retracted and the claws all the way open, you're going to have a max opening width of 41 inches. Pretty impressive, especially for this style of grapple. I do also want to point out the hose routing on this grapple. IronCraft has done a nice job running these into the main frame. They're fully protected. They run to the center of the unit where they exit the main hoses that run to your skid steer. Also very much worth noting is we offer a hose saver spring kit that can be mounted as an accessory to the side of the grapple. The main hoses that connect to your skid steer will run through the top portion of the hardware on that spring kit. Keeps the hoses up out of the way of the pinch point, prevents them from falling down by the ground where they can be snagged. We all know that when those hydraulic hoses get snagged, if they do and get torn off, it makes a mess for one with hydraulic oil and it can be a real hassle. Well, that'll conclude this video on the IronCraft Severe Duty Root Grapple. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content just like this one. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us anytime as well at 282-3650 or on our website at www.ctsequip.com.